So greetings from the Adirondacks of New York once again. Yeah, just got done packing up my camp for the morning. It's my last day up here. Yesterday was absolutely epic, climbing Mount Marcy, getting to the top. Not what I was expecting or hoping for the summit, but it was still epic regardless. But anyway, I'm here at overlooking what's called Heart Lake. It's a beautiful spot. I've been down here a couple of times past couple of days for my camping experience up there, coming here down here to drink tea and just chill out for a little bit. But let me show you. Yeah, but this is Heart Lake. I guess it's kind of heart-shaped, but there's a trail that goes all the way around. I was debating on whether or not to do it this trip, but I think it'll be a good finisher to our experience up here. I talked to a couple people yesterday who did it, and they all recommend it. So yeah, I saw a loon out here the other day. It's just beautiful. Up there's the high peaks. Somewhere out there's Mount Marcy. You see they're kind of covered in clouds this morning. Alright, but let's get this hike going. I'm a little sore from yesterday. I did 11 hours of hiking yesterday to Marcy. That was rough. Everything's a little sore, but I think it'll be good to go for this hike. I don't forget, maybe less than a mile all the way around, or maybe just about that. So I know some folks did it in like half an hour, but they were younger and probably moving along. I'll be filming and looking for wildlife and flowers and stuff, so I think it'll be a good one. So let's quit yapping, let's get going. It's about 8 o'clock. I do have to be out of here by 11 at my campsite, so I think it'll work out well. All right, but just one more look. We'll probably get another look before I actually leave. The trail kind of ends here too. All right, but let's get going up to the trail. Heart Lake. Yeah, and I always keep a pair of spare hiking shoes in my Jeep. These are my older pair, but ones from yesterday are just nasty, stinky, and wet, and so always helps to keep an extra pair along on these trips. Yeah, back in there was my campsite, site number 11. And here's the Heart Lake Loop. Got some other lean-tos and campsites back here. But look at this though. I should say this is the Adirondack Lodge wilderness campground. That's where we're at. Yeah, but a lot of people, a lot of campers, a lot of people at the information center are all getting ready to do their big hike today. Kind of wonder how many of them are going to try Mount Marcy. It's kind of interesting knowing, having done it yesterday, knowing what it's like, how long it is. You know what they're in for. But not everybody's here to do Marcy. There's all kinds of peaks and summits to do here in the area. Yeah, it's already beautiful. Still goes through some more camping areas, more lean-tos. One of these days I'll have to try camping at one of those. Yeah, so Heart Lake continues that way. The old Marcy Dam Trail. That probably hooks you up with the trail to Mount Marcy, which I don't want to experience again right now. So. Already seen a number of different wildflowers. I do not know what these are. I feel like I should though. I've never seen these back home. Let me get a close-up of these. So they look like close-up. Not sure. But I know what this is. This is a pink lady slipper. It's absolutely beautiful. And these white flowers, these are bunchberry. I saw a bunch of them yesterday, and the ranger up at Marcy confirmed that that's what they are, bunchberry. Yeah, just absolutely beautiful. Bit buggy. Check out this cool looking little mushroom. Let me zoom in on that puppy. Just a little fella, but cool. And up here is, I think, what they call the old ski slope. I know a number of people told me about it. It's an open area through the ferns. This ski slope is dedicated to the memory of Alice Waterhouse. Huh. So it looks like we go up and into there. I don't want to go too much uphill this morning, but yeah, kind of cool. Kind of reverting back to nature. And down here's a splash of orange. I'm pretty sure this is what they call hawkweed, or orange hawkweed. I know we have the yellow variety at home. Fire will open up a little bit more later. Cool. Yeah, gonna go back into the woods here. Nice little bench. Into the cool of the woods. All right, I think we made a good choice this morning. Like I was debating whether or not to do this trail or to do something else this morning. It's my last day here. I'm headed home after this, so I'm kind of thinking, should I do this hike or pick something else on the way home? Maybe another waterfall or something like that, but I think this will work. Well, it is working. It's just that I'm pretty tired. I mean, I feel good this morning, but I did, like I said, did 11 hours of hiking yesterday up to Mount Marcy. Absolutely brutal. Hike was tough, and the summit was just crazy wild up there, weather-wise. So, enjoying this nice little stroll here in the Adirondacks. And there was some trillium blooming not too long ago. Here's one that got the 3 leaves, but the bloom is long gone. Huh. It's interesting. Some plants I recognize and some not so much. Yeah, but beautiful little hike. Oh, rocks. I got so tired of rocks and mud yesterday. Wow. There's just a little bit here. Yeah, that trail up to Marcy was, I keep saying it, but that was tough. But I'm so glad I did it too. Get some glimpses of the lake down there, glistening through the trees. Not sure if this trail will go along the lake at any point down there, but it'd be nice if we had at least one spot to get some views. Of course, probably the best views are from where I started to hike there, but I don't know. There's at times, you know, walking this trail, I could be back in Pennsylvania. But then there's other times where, like I said, there's some plants and trees I'm like, huh, I don't recognize that. Lets me know that I'm not back home. And it's a good time to do this hike too, in the cool of the morning yet. Although it's past 8 o'clock, but gonna be a little bit warmer today than it was last 2 days. Like yesterday was only like 73 degrees for a high. Maybe not even here at camp, but today's gonna be a little bit warmer up in the 80s, so it feels humid, so good time to do this little hike. Yeah, but if you come here to the Adirondack Lodge area and you want to do some hiking, but you don't want to climb Mount Marcy or some other difficult peak, there are easier trails here like this one. You could camp down there. I think the campground's directly opposite of us now. There are smaller trails to do that you can enjoy. Still get the, Adirondack experience. And enjoy yourself. All right, we got our first wildlife spotting of the morning. We got a big toad down there. Wow. It's probably a female. They're usually the bigger ones. Just perched up there on the rock. So there are two different types of toads here in the Northeast. There's the American toad and the Fowler's toad. There are slight differences between them. Hello there, beautiful. I think she likes being on camera. We'll zoom in on your beautiful face. Yeah. Alright. Alright, well thank you for posing for us and letting us film you here on the trail. Alright, that was cool, but now let's have a moose coming to the trail. There are moose up here, but I think they keep themselves pretty much. Never seen a moose before. Well, at least in the wild, I should say. But yeah, down there's. Yeah, I feel like it'd be cool to walk down along the lake, but not complaining. Of course, maybe it's pretty steep down there too. But we'll see. Maybe further up, we'll walk along the lake a little bit. All right, let's see what more wildlife or flowers we can find. There's a cool breeze blowing through here. All right, up here we got some signage. The Heart Loop hike goes that way. We got some waterfalls, Rocky Falls and Indian Pass. Not sure how far up they are, so I'm not gonna venture that way, but let's continue on this trail. We're getting to that time of year too where waterfalls are not flowing as great as they were in the spring. Yeah, I think over there was the far side of the lake. I camped over there, so we're kind of coming around the other side now, the last side, I think. This should bring us back out near the High Peaks Information Center. Of course, they're a little bit more uphill and rocks. Here's some more signage. Trailhead parking, Adirondack Lodge. Looks like there's a trail going up this way too. Which do they say what that one is? It says Mount Joe via the Garden Trail. My neighbors past 2 nights did Mount Joe yesterday. It's a much easier hike. They showed me some pictures. They got some really good views. And it only took them like 2 hours round trip via my 11. But Mount Joe's only like 2,000 some feet high, whereas Marcy is like 5,300 some feet high, so quite a bit difference. But if you're looking for something a little bit easier besides Marcy, there you go. Mount Joe might be for you. And there's a lake again. But I do just want to take a moment again to thank my viewers, my Patreon supporters, and all you guys for making this trip possible. It's because of you guys that I can be up here doing this and bringing this content to you guys. I mean, it's not just about me enjoying it, it's about bringing it to you. For those of you who, for two reasons. For those of you who could come up here and do this stuff, and for those of you who couldn't, who might never be able to experience this in person, I can share it with you. So thank you. Without you guys, I wouldn't be here, to be honest. Yeah, now we're down more by the lake. I don't think we'll get any more views, but that's okay. Saw some more flowers on this boulder here. Yeah, growing on top of a boulder here in the moss. I wonder if this is that, are these? Actually, these look like bluets, what we have back home. I know up on Marcy there's a little white flower called Diapensia. That's not what this is though. These are those bluets. Alright, I thought it might be that. Alright. Yeah, just kind of a view through down to the lake. Anyway. Wow, this is a beautiful trail though. Oh, they have one of these trail registers. This is for people going to Indian Pass, or I'm not sure where they're going. I guess it's for if you're going up to the Mount Joe area or something. Register here, but you don't have to. If you're hiking this Heart Loop trail, you don't have to register. That's if you're going into the High Peaks Wilderness area. I mean, we are in the High Peaks area, but we're not officially in what's labeled as the High Peaks Wilderness area, if it makes that sense, boundary-wise. This land belongs to the Adirondack Lodge. But once you hike off their property, you will encounter signs for the High Peak Wilderness area. It's just to keep track of you. Like if you don't come back, they know where you are and things like that. And someone can come find you. Oh, I'm seeing a big rocky section up ahead. I know I said, but I was so tired of the rocks. But it's just a small section. Yeah, I think in my video on Mount Marcy, I talk about one of my pet peeves. Because I'm from Pennsylvania. And it often gets called Rock-Sylvania because the trails are rocky. But the reality is, most other states have rocky trails too. I mean, Mount Marcy might have been the rockiest trail I've ever hiked on. But Pennsylvania gets all the the bad reputation for being rocky. It's mostly in reference to the Appalachian Trail through Pennsylvania, which is rocky in some sections. The northern part more so than the southern part, but if you ever hiked the Appalachian Trail in like New Jersey or New York and stuff, it is even just as rocky or even more in some ways. So anyway, get that off my chest again. Alright. Yeah, so starting to hear voices and car doors slamming, so we're closing in on that High Peaks Information Center, which is what it is. If you're looking for information, if you're getting ready to hike the High Peaks or to park, you gotta pay to park there. It's 18 bucks to park there. Or if you're camping there, it's the check-in spot for camping. They have a little store in there and everything, so neat little spot to stop into. There's one of our little buddies, the red squirrel. Oh, they are so camera shy. Oh, there's our little buddy again. Oh, there he goes. All right, there's a little side trail down here going down the lake. Let's check this out. I think we might get a view down here. Oh, there's a bench. That's neat. Maybe I'll take a little break here. Not that I really need one, but oh wow. Yep. Let's go down. I think I will take a little break in a moment. Let's go down to the edge. I've had a number of views of the lake here from my site. Yeah, right out there's the beach. And just up that way is where I was started this video, but yeah. Oh yeah, the clouds are leaving now. There's high peaks up there, wow. Not sure what summit that is out there, but that is a beautiful shot. Not sure if I like this view. I think I like the view from over there better because you have mountains on this side and over here and kind of looking up. Anyway. Alright, I'm going to go sit on a bench for just a little bit. Yeah, just a nice little spot along the lake here. Yeah, this morning that peak over there was covered in clouds, but now it's cleared up. Once again, it just shows how much the weather changes on those peaks. You're just kind of wondering what Mount Marcy is going to be like today for those who are hiking. That's not Mount Marcy there, but like I said, yesterday was just brutal up there, but who knows, maybe today folks will get a nice view. Alright, let's head back up to the trail. Yeah, just a beautiful trail. Like I said, if hiking one of the high peaks is not for you, come here and do this one. Yeah, trails are becoming a lot more manicured. Oh, there's a sign for Mount Joe up there, but it looks like they have another little viewing station here. We're pretty close to the information center, so wow, this is nice. Will this be our favorite view? Yeah, I'm just thinking now. I think when I'm looking for my campground there, I was looking up at those mountains up there. Those are still covered in clouds. I'm not sure if I can even see that mountain from my campsite location, which is over there, so yeah. That's the same one we saw at the other place I stopped at, but yeah, wow. Yeah, Mount Joe. I need to do that one, I think, if I ever come back up here again. But look at these trees, it's growing right on top of these rocks here. That's pretty cool. Alright. Yeah, beautiful trail. Something called Rim Rock. Not sure what that is though. Yeah, and like more cabins you can stay at. Oh, it's a nature museum actually. Alright, trailhead parking. I don't need that. I think we need to go back to the campsite. I think we need to go this way. Or along the lake. Yeah. Wow, I really like this through here. This is really neat. Yeah, I think I made the right choice this morning. Like I said, last night I was kind of convinced myself I wasn't going to do this trail. I was just really tired. Beat, sore, kind of in pain. But yeah, glad we did it. Felt better this morning. Yeah, right over there is like the information center and all that stuff. Coming back into civilization here. Yeah, and right down here is where I started the trail. That first look out across the lake. where I came down many times from my campground, which is just my campground, my campsite, which is just up there. Oh, actually, this is the beach area. My site I went to is just up there a little bit more. Yeah, down here is where I started. And I camped just in there. So I kept coming down here in the evening to see the sunset, which is beautiful. I think this might be my favorite view though, down here. Maybe just because I'm kind of attached to it. Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, the bigger peak that we saw, yeah, earlier we were over there, that one bench was over there somewhere, but from here we can't see that larger peak over that way, so yeah. I think maybe, now that I think about it, I think that the views with that larger peak that we saw over there, looking this way, which I can just kind of see the edge of it here, maybe those are my favorite views, now that I can think about it. But I think that'll be it for me, folks. I'm gonna head back to my Jeep, which is right up there. See what time is it? 8:52. So I did it in less than an hour too, because I took some breaks and stuff and was filming and looking for flowers and stuff. So a nice hike, nice way to finish out my trip up here. Once again, thank you, folks. My heart is full. Yesterday was tough, but just amazing. So anyway, I'm gonna head home. I got 6.5 hour drive home. Down through New York into New Jersey, which gets busy, and then back into PA. So thanks for coming along. Thanks for joining me on this video and this whole trip. Hopefully we'll see you on the next one.